Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Mars conjunct one's natal north node. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Mars, it can be about action, motivation, drive, energy or vitality, enthusiasm, and exuberance even. Now, when transit Mars is conjoined one's natal north node, this could be a lot of action and activity, motivation, energy, a lot of drive and enthusiasm into it could be one's future. If this is an Aquarius, say it might be something with astrology, computers, electronics, innovation. Um, if it's in, like say, if it's in Aquarius in the 12th house, it could be the expression, simply the expression of humanitarianism, altruism, uh, in helping those that might be weaker, that are less fortunate, such as the oppressed, the impoverished, the homeless, or the hungry. And the North Node is also connected with one's destiny. And if it's in Pisces, say it could be some thing that you might feel is preordained or destined to be something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology or spirituality, uh, photography, chemistry, poetry, dancing. And also, the North Node is connected with the development of the positive attributes that will aid us in the future. The North Node is generally something that is um, more emphasized in the latter part of life, say 35 years and older, but it doesn't mean you won't be utilizing it to some degree prior to that. And if you're already in that period, if you're like 35 or older, then it could it's something that you might be accentuating more now anyway. And as far as the development of positive attributes, say if it's in the zodiac sign Cancer, well, that could be nurturing, being protective, showing unconditional love, loving someone maybe unequivocally more than you had before, um, being sympathetic, having a lot of dedication, devotion, even patriotism. Uh, this is something too, and being protective. Now, another thing too is that, I mean, the North Node, of course, is what we're moving toward. When we're in the South Node, the opposite point is what we're trying to go away from, not necessarily eradicating completely, but something that we may not emphasize as much in the second part of our lives. And with the North Node being what you're moving toward, I mean, say if it's an Aries, I mean, this could be a lot of the fact that transit Mars is hitting your natal North Node could be a lot of action and energy into what you're moving toward. It could be maybe, say if it's in Aries, it could be more independence and self-reliance, going from the opposite point, the South Node, your South Node Libra then in that example, going from collaborating with others on things, being maybe dependent on others to get things done, and more relationship oriented. But if it's an Aries, this could be the time where you're more driven and motivated to do things independently, as an example, or show leadership, show some kind of courage and fortitude and being assertive at this time, more so than usual. Now, another thing too is that the North Node is what we're striving to become. So, I mean, if this is in, say, if this is in Gemini in the ninth house, is another example, this could manifest and really maybe becoming somebody that might show, taking action and being enthusiastic, perhaps about being somebody that could show diversity and versatility in higher education or philosophical beliefs. Could be taking manifold college courses, or maybe it's something where you're showing them, really being more adaptable in terms of a philosophical outlook and opinions, and more open-minded to others, and having multiple maybe beliefs, and willing to listen to those philosophies, and instead of just maybe with the South Node and Sag in the third house, of course, instead of just homing in on one particular philosophy in your day-to-day communication. So that would be one way that can manifest and pan out. And also keep in mind, the North Node also can be about issues one may have to confront or address. So when you have this transit, it can be maybe there's more enthusiasm and exuberance in those issues and using the drive and the energy and vitality to actually do some, having more courage to do these things as well. I mean, say if this is in Leo and it's like a younger person, they have this in Leo in the third house as an example. It could be a bullying situation in early education. It might be a time where it has to, where you might finally say, you know, enough is enough. I'm going to have the courage, the fortitude to do something about this. Now, also too, Mars can also be about initiative and impatience. This could be about a time if things aren't, you know, going fast and you're not making progress toward your future the way you want to. It might be a time where you might become more impatient as far as that goes. But on a positive end, this could also manifest in the expression of more initiative and enterprise and drive and moving toward your future, leaving behind what's no longer perhaps working for you anymore. And say if this is in Taurus in the fourth house in your natal chart as an example, this could be about finding, perhaps taking action and being motivated toward peace and stability in your home life and those that you may be close to home with, family members. And this is the time, again, it could be about having the courage and fortitude to confront issues that may need addressing. If it's something that you may have procrastinated on or hesitated to some degree for some time, this could be the time where you actually get that gumption to actually do this at this time. This actually could be a very auspicious transit for, I would say, accomplishing things this time and taking action and having that motivation to do this. Now, I mean, it could be, say if this is in, you know, again, having the courage to confront issues that may need addressing. Say, for example, if this is in Gemini in the seventh house in your natal chart. This could be a time where you might have to, maybe it's time to deal with maybe spreading yourself too thin for others in general at this time, and or maybe having to deal with a very mercurial or shifty open adversary. And also at this time, this could also manifest in being more driven and outspoken. As far as what you're trying to become, you could just be simply speaking aloud about this and saying, you know, this is what, you know, I need to do at this point. Say if this is in Pisces in the 11th house as an example, it could be toward maybe spiritual or metaphysical goals and aspirations, or showing more self-sacrificing energy with friends, being forgiving regarding them and trying to overlook certain transgressions of these people. Another thing too is that this is also could be about having the vitality and energy to pursue your destiny, your future at this time. I mean, say if this falls in Aquarius in the third house as an example, it could be by through you know, bringing tech labs, robotics to kids in early education, be helping inner city schools, maybe ones that have people in it that don't have, maybe they're for some reason they're, you know, not as privileged or might be an impoverished community, and helping them in what I just described. And now it could also be, I mean, let's say, and also this could be about taking action toward your second half of life. Now let's say you're not in that period yet, you're younger than 35. It could still be some planned energy that you might be trying to get, whether it might be, you know, something with insurance or setting up some kind of retirement plan for yourself. I mean, say if this is, for example, if this is in Capricorn in the sixth house in the natal chart, it could be about trying to attain, having the energy and motivation to get structure, discipline, and consistency in health related matters and also work related matters as well. Now, in isolated cases, this could also manifest in some kind of, it could be an injury or surgery that may need to be dealt with. Say if this is in Leo as an example, it could be something surgical with the heart, the spine, the lower back. If it's in Libra, I'm sorry, the upper back for Leo. If it's in Libra, it could be something with the kidneys or maybe something with the lower back. Hold on a moment, people. And Mars is also connected, with the muscles. So if this falls in, say for example, this falls in Gemini, it could be some issue with some muscles in the arms, the biceps, the triceps, or something with the forearms, or even an injury to the hand, or some problem with it like carpal tunnel syndrome that might have to be uh, dealt with. Mars can be about physical injuries and issues with that you may have to deal with physically. So those are some ways, and Mars can also be about irritations, burns, cuts. So those are some things that if you've held off on these, this could be something that you may have to deal with at this time when you have this transit. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.